Okay, it's Jay Kim from the Oregon Surf Perch Fishing Club. It's Friday, February 16th at 9:35. I'm here at 11th Street, which again, in Lincoln City, which again is either 11th Street or Canyon Drive Park. It's about 2 hours before low tide. Tidal height's about 2.5 right now, and it's gonna go to 0.7. So temperature, fishing conditions are, it's about 42 to 43 degrees, maybe 44. And there's a wind chill of about 4 to 5 degrees. So the wind is pretty chilly. My fingers are already numb. I haven't even got to the beach yet. Swell energy is supposed to be 500, so that looks decent. It's interesting because the forecast was to be very windy and rainy today, but it's actually not bad compared to what it was supposed to be. I'm guessing that there's about a 5 to 7 mile per hour wind. It's starting to kick up right now just as I said that. And catching conditions look okay. This is low tide. I don't think I've been to this place at low tide before, but there's some decent crashing waves right there. There's a sandbar here. The interesting thing was I was here last week. There's that rolling log if you remember my video, and there's that tree stump. But there's a whole set of rocks to the right, so I don't want to go that far, but I'm gonna just try right here. It looks actually decent, so let's see how it goes. It's funny, I saw a surfer on the way into the parking lot, and I asked him how the water was. He said it was cold. He goes, but there's a lot of fish out there. And I go, well, how do you know that? He goes, well, I could feel them. So I think he was joking, but yeah, you never know. Okay, catching conditions look okay. They don't look fantastic, but this looks pretty decent. So I'm gonna try here. I don't know how long I'll stay. And it's already pretty windy. I finally got my windbreaker on today, but even now, like I said, my hands are starting to get numb. Okay, as I'm trying to walk to the place I'm fishing at, because it's low tide, this is normally all underwater, but man, it's like quicksand, and there's certain spots where you put your foot in and it sinks like about 6 to 8 inches and you can't pull it out. So I want to walk around to the side, get to that sandbar right there. I don't know if you can see it, but get to that sandbar and then start fishing. So my first cast is already a strong drift from left to right. So this is going to be one of those days where I end up casting a lot more than I want to. Okay, so now that I'm on the sandbar, I can actually see a trough forming right here, and it actually gets bigger right where that stump is. So coming at high tide, I'm guessing in about 5 to 6 feet high tide. This would be a pretty decent fishing area. Just don't want to go too far that way because there's a lot of rocks there that would be underwater. And I'm just looking whether I want to go north or go south. And I think I'm going to go south because the waves look kind of the same, and the trough is going to cut off wading down further that way. Catch conditions aren't all that great. I mean, there's some close by swells just like right here. But they're all very small, and you don't see one after another. Like for instance, right now it's kind of dead. But hey, at least I'm getting my feet wet. But man, the wind is really cold. So I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last, but my fingers are cold. They're a little numb, but at least they're not aching yet. But it's really chilly wind. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay, so I'm gonna walk directly down south, because I see some better breaking waves, and we'll see how it goes. But if you notice this expansive water, there's breaking set right here. There's some forming close by, but then it's really pretty flat. You see all the dark green water, there's no waves. So that's why I want to head down there where I see a little bit more crashing waves. See how it goes. I'm just guessing, but that's all I can do right now. It's actually a very short walk, but yeah, catch conditions down here look a lot better. So don't know if it'll translate in any action, but we'll see. As I've been traversing down the beach, there's been some places where I'm getting snagged every time I pull in, and there's been a couple times when I thought I was going to lose my rig. So, you know, it's obviously very rocky underneath the water here. The last 5 places I've tried on the stretch here, every place I've gone, there's tons of rocks, and I'm getting snagged just about on every retrieve. So I'm expecting to lose my rig here soon, and if I do, I'm going to quit. It's a little bit more bearable now. Winds died down a little bit. My fingers are not quite as numb as they were before. but it's still pretty chilly out here. And with me running into all these rocks and snags, it's definitely not fun. But it's still nice to be out in the ocean and getting my feet wet. But I'm looking forward to next week. There's supposed to be a couple of really good days next week where swells are low, swell energy is low, and I think it's supposed to be like in the mid 50s. So I'm really looking forward to springtime conditions now. Okay, I think I'm just gonna try a little bit more and then probably give it up. Okay, well, it finally happened. Got a snag, lost my leader, and let's see, been here 40 minutes only. But I think I'm just gonna call it quits. I think that was the sign. I should have quit earlier after getting hitting all those rocks in every single cast for the last, I don't know, 7-8 casts. I was hitting rocks every time, getting snagged. If I was smart, I would have picked up and moved around the rocks, but oh well, that's life. Okay, so been here about 40 minutes. Got in about 8 to 10 casts. I'm thinking it's more like 8. I just quit because I got the snag, and it's a little chilly out here today. Good thing I wore my windbreaker, otherwise it would have been really miserable. So I started up there from the 11th Street parking lot. There's a lot of rocks up there exposed now, so you definitely don't want to go past that tree stump at high tide. But I would like to hit this place right here where that trough is right around 5 to 6 feet high tide. So I'm gonna look to come back here right around an incoming 5 feet, then I can hit 6 and 7 feet too as tide comes in. So I started north, went all the way south down to there. Unfortunately down there are a lot of rocks, although catching conditions were better. So I'm hoping next week conditions will be a little bit better. I'm looking for some springtime conditions one of the days next week. So I'm hoping to go to Wade Creek. Okay, that's it for today, but it was nice to be in the water, even though it was a little chilly and a little unpleasant. But man, it's still nice to be surf fishing. I'd rather be surf fishing than anything else. That's it for today.